Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Mystic Moonstone Weekly Angel Card reading. The duration for this reading is going to be the 14th of December, I believe, to the 20th. Isn't it going fast? Okay, let's have a look and see what the angels have in store for us this week. First card we have, I think this is an important one for all of us, to be honest, is prioritise. Okay, so beginning of the week, focus on your highest priorities and I will help to get you organised and motivated. I think we could all do with a little bit of Archangel Metatron, the angel, well, he is known as the angel, the motivator of the angels, of getting organised, of getting sorted, of almost having a celestial kind of kick up the backside, okay? He's the one who nudges you. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to use these ones as an influence today and see what card goes with that. Get a little bit more information. But I think this time of year it is all about prioritising, isn't it? We have the diet and nutrition. Okay, now I don't know if anybody else is like this. This time of year my diet goes out the window. I get tempted by all the festive treats, but at the same time I forget to eat. So my body kind of goes into this kind of mode of, and it's happened ever since I've been a mum, to be honest, where I kind of go into that kind of mode of feast and famine. And but if you go on the scales, they're like that. Honestly, if you look at my tracker, it's like going like that at the moment. So I can actually understand that. So that card is saying make sure you eat and drink. Pay attention to what you eat and drink. Don't just make sure you eat and drink. You intuitively know what is good for you, and I think that is really important at this time of year. And when you can get that kind of prioritised, when you can get your focus on that, maybe it will help you to conserve the energy you need to actually then put your focus on other priorities, which we all know there's so many this time of year. But what I always say is if you don't get everything done, don't worry, there's no such thing as a perfect Christmas. There's no such thing as a perfect holiday time. And I think this year, well, it's totally unprecedented to anything we've ever experienced. So don't strive for perfection. Strive for happiness. Strive for personal contentment. And what doesn't get done, doesn't get done. Okay, it won't be the end of the world. There's always going to be time after to celebrate. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to go with my Tony Command for midweek. Oh, this is a nice one for this time of year. We have the card of forgiveness. Okay. Archangel Zadkiel, he is the angel of emotional healing. And I always say with this card, it may be external forgiveness, but it could also be inner forgiveness, because guilt is such a negative energy that we carry around with us. And it just kind of, it swamps us. And again, like I was saying, you know, my eating has been quite erratic in December ever since I was a mum. Ever since becoming a mum and wanting to make everything perfect and wanting to fit everything in. And quite often, you know, I would notice I just literally wouldn't eat. Mal would come home and he'd go, what have you eaten? But I've been running around, or I just spent a day just kind of eating a packet of mince pies or something like that. So really, really bad eating habits in December for me. But what I would say also is forgiveness really comes into it in December, because we have that guilt. We have that guilt that we haven't managed to get that present. Maybe we don't have the funds for it. Maybe we just can't find it. You know, now where people don't want to be kind of going around shops, it's even harder, isn't it? Maybe you've checked everywhere online, and, you know, especially if you're a parent of young children, this kind of comes in. I remember once almost having a fight over a Teletubby. Okay, so I think forgiveness is more aimed at the self, but there's also that people we're estranged from at Christmas. It just tugs at you. And, you know, if you feel it's the time to put out the olive branch, then put out the olive branch. You know, if you feel it's the time to forgive someone, forgive someone. If you feel it's time to put out that to be forgiven, put that out. You know, I always say Christmas is this lovely time where you can send a Christmas card, and you can then gauge it. You know, you can gauge reaction. You can send a Christmas card with your current phone number or something like that. So it's a really good opportunity if you're seeking to forgive or seeking to be forgiven. Okay, let's see, where am I going to go now? I'm going to go with my rebels. I'm going all over the place today. What is already with you? That's an interesting card. Okay, so what is already with you? What do you already have? And maybe you already have that forgiveness. Maybe you've already forgiven somebody, but you just haven't really acknowledged it. Maybe in the past you couldn't forgive them because that anger was so consuming. But now when you kind of think about it, it's like, what did we row over? What triggered it? You know, and when you get to that point, that's really when you can forgive, because it's no longer kind of burning away at you. Again, you know, it may be if you're really kind of beating yourself up because you can't get your child that must-have gift that they want this year, you know, the bold Barbie or whatever it is, then you have to think to yourself, what do I already give to my child? Okay, and if you give your child time and love and you make your child feel safe, I guarantee they will remember that more than any toy. Okay, as somebody whose children are all growing up now, I can remember the struggles I did have to get certain items, as I said, like the fight over the Teletubby. But what I would say is what my children tend to remember are the experiences of their childhood more than those gifts. I'll go, do you remember that? And they're like, no. But then they'll talk about a time in the woods, or a time making like the fir cones on my Christmas tree were actually made by my eldest, you know, who still has memories of doing that as a very young child. So that's what I'm saying. It's that kind of bringing in experiences. The most important thing. Okay, so don't worry about what you can't give, worry about what you can give. And I think that's what that card is about. You are enough, and what have you got to give? What is with you? Okay, let's go to the end of the week, because I always panic when I do these videos, because I always worry that they're gonna say to me they're too long after I've done it, and then what would I do? Because I've already done the video. Okay, we have the card of gratitude. I like that. That's coming in weekend. Okay, Archangel Zadkiel. Okay, so he's staying with you. So maybe you're going to be grateful that you got that forgiveness, or that you've reached out for that forgiveness, or you just started to realise, like that other card says, what is already with you. And gratitude is about counting your blessings. Okay, because if you have a roof over your head and a meal on your table and you feel warm, that really is everything we need. And then if you put all the bonuses of love and laughter, and maybe you've got fur babies around you and things like that, you start to realise that life is full of blessings. Okay, let's go to Sacred Earth. That's lovely and green, and it's kind of like a harvest, so I think I'll go to the Sacred Earth just to see how it goes. And it's a lovely card of renewal. And maybe that's what you need. Maybe the weekend, we're coming very, very close to the winter solstice. Becoming close to that point where we reach the darkest point and the light is coming back. So, that it makes sense that the gratitude comes in around that time. I think they're saying that the Christmas star is appearing for the first time. Is it in 800 years on the 21st? And if you look, there's some lovely stars there. So let's be grateful for the starlight. Let's be grateful for every little bit of magic that actually comes into our life, and let that renew you. And if you think the renewal card is so important coming in around the time of the solstice, because that's what it's about. It's about renewal. It's about a return to the light. With that, I'm going to say love and laughter to you all. Bye.